Because things will not be going your way, you decided you're going to change and go back to fishing like the disciples did. She was walking along the way and she was obedient to a point. Let me explain to you, whatever you concentrate on, you become.
That's right. Amen.
Whatever you put your trust into, you want to become a part of. You destroy the things you hate and you embrace the things you love.
Amen.
You give life to those you love and you destroy those you hate. On a long journey along the passageway, she talked about it. Now, I do not believe that she was talking to herself. There are some people that you walking with and you talking with are not saved. And just like Satan talking to the heirs of Eve, he's talking into your ear. And he's convincing you the wrong is right. He's convincing you that, this is better than that. Though God said that is better. They're telling you that this is better because it's from a man-fleshly point of view. And they only wanted to satisfy flesh, even to a point of destruction. They're whispering into your ear. They're talking to you. If you're a female occasionally touching you, women fall for touching sounds. And before you know it, that what God has created for the best of you to enjoy another man, you've given it to a woman. Same thing with men. Contaminate their minds and make them think they're less than what they should be. And they become females in their minds. She was talking to somebody. I know y'all looking at me with this message. This message going across that head right there.
That's right.
Are you hearing me? It's time to stand on the rise and take your place.
Amen.
The church is too jelly back. Are you hearing what I'm saying to you?
Amen.
Too jelly back. She was talking to somebody, and the only one that was walking with them was a family member. So they talk to the family member, and the family member don't find nothing wrong with that.
That's right.
After all, everybody have their life to live. Your life is only your life to live according to God's plan.
Amen.
After that, you dead. I hear what I'm saying to you. So even the family member would agree. But here's the deal. The family member knew that God said. I hear what I'm saying. Why? Everyone was given account unto God for themselves.
That's right. Amen.
Family member may not disagree with you because they don't want to hurt your feelings. Family member may walk one-on-one with you to that point, but they're not turning around with you.
That's right.
So she remembered the good days in Sodom and Gomorrah. She talked about the party. She talked about the lifestyle that's against God's plan, purpose, and mind. She discussed it. And the more she talked about it, the more delightful it becomes in her spirit. In the depths of her mind, her soul grabbed hold of it. The flesh became authority instead of the spirit. Are you hearing me?
Yeah.
The Bible tells you will fulfill the lust of the flesh. You stay thinking of the flesh. Then I'm talking about homosexuality, but God says to tell you this dealing with fornication and adultery and all of this at the same time.
Amen.
That's the same spirit, just new faces.
Yeah.
Different deceptions.
Yeah.
You understand that?
Amen.
God is against it all.
Yes, yes.
Isn't it amazing? Just at the break of that hill, where they're supposed to go over and never see that place again. Right at the break of the hill, remember this statement. Challenges, destruction, crisis come right at the curb of success.
Yeah.
Just when you're traveling all this hardship and you take a left that'll bring you into prosperity right at that curb is where the most tempting time is. The rough hours of the morning is the daylight hours, it's the twilight hours. I hear what I'm saying.
Amen.
Just when things are about to turn around for your betterment. Every crisis does not look bad. Every crisis does not look bad. Some crises are beautiful to look at. Some crises are beautiful to embrace because they're under facade.
Yeah.
They're labeled under deception. One of the greatest tools that the enemy has. Right at the curve of success comes crisis. You do not recognize. The purpose of the crisis is to get you to turn around. To get you to begin to doubt. To get you to begin to speak things into the depth of your spirit that are not of God. And the angel that is directing you toward your success suddenly look back and you turn around because of crisis. The angels don't understand why. They can't figure it out to save their lives. God has this for you and you going back to that and they can't stop you. Freedom of will. I hear what I'm saying to you.
Amen.
Right on the top of that hill. Just when she should have gone down with the others. That thought of how good Sodom and Gomorrah was.
Yeah.
The immoral activities. If I get you talking back, then we'll bring you up front. Do you hear what I'm saying to you? This life-changing message is for every individual in this house.
Amen.
I know what I'm saying. Right there, sitting on that mountaintop, right there, where you should go over, right when you get to the place where you're supposed to break through. I was in a ministry where we were trained. I was the prophet of the house, and God had me to call all the leaders and tell them go home. And when they got them, they would have called them, and they called them my house. We all were instructed to lay prostrate before God and praying in the Spirit in the midst of the prayer. God took me in a serious travail, a heavy-duty travail. Now understand this ministry. There were signs and wonders and miracles. People were getting healed from everywhere. Woo! The blind were seeing again, and the deaf were hearing again, and the people that walked in on crutches were running and giving the crutches up. I mean, people came in wheelchairs and were getting up and walking out. After the services were over, right in the front of the pulpit, we had to put men in the front of the pulpit, because when you walk on the pulpit, on the ground, we said you followed under the anointing. It was so rich and thick, and people were getting healed. And in this prayer session, I saw a rocket launch and take it out into the universe. And just when that boost is supposed to put that extra thrust to it to put it into the atmosphere, instead of it, the booster exploded. And I watched that rocket come down and take it out. I said, Daddy, what are you showing me? He said, tell her that the ministry has arrived the very few ministries I've ever been before. And I have so much more for it. But they will have to fight to stay in it. And if they don't, it will fail just like the others. I told my leader, and she scolded me. And she said, that is not of God. Well, today, the ministry took her own turn. She's dead, and the ministry has made another move. Why am I sharing this with you? Because God talking to you today. God talking to you today. just like Lot's wife. When she began to think about how good things were. When she began to remember what it was, and I'm going to miss that. I'm going into a foreign land, and I don't know what is there. If I can just look back one more time. Immediately, as God's word was, they who look back will surely perish. She turned into a pillar of salt and still standing there today. In other words, God is talking to you. God is telling you what you're in is no good. What He pulled you out of, do not go back in. It'll be destruction. I got a young man delivered from homosexuality. It's one of the gifts God has given me. I recognize it like you won't believe. He was doing very well, and I was launched out on a vision. And in this vision, there were a group of men that were standing to the side, and we were talking to each other, and away from us was a huge house that was on fire, burning. When I looked around to talk to the young man, he was walking toward the house. And I shouted for him, but he didn't return. And I said, "What do you show me, Dad?" He said, "You tell him for me. If he go back into the lifestyle, he's a dead man." I called him and said, "Come here, man. God says if you go back to where He delivered you from, you are a dead man. He went back, he's dead." God said to the Lord, nobody is to look back. Keep on pressing toward the mark of the prize of the high calling that is in Christ Jesus. Amen. He that knew no sin became sin for us. Yes, things got tough. Yes, He wanted to bow it, but it's His grace, the grace of God that was sufficient enough for him, and the covenant that was protected by the promises of God, and the promises that have been made to meet the condition was far more greater than the cry out, "Oh God, I cannot do this." You better hear me. I don't know who I'm talking to, but whatever you're about to get into, you're about to lose everything. God is here today to tell you you're going to lose your family. You're going to lose the excellence that God had planned for your life. You're going to lose everything that ever, and God said He's been talking to you. Dreams and wonders, and He's come to you personally to talk to you one-on-one. He's going to open you up in public. Just like He did Lot's wife. And you are going to lose your family and everything that God has in store for you. Are you hearing what I'm saying to you?
Amen.
And isn't it amazing? She made it to where she made it was because Abraham was praying. Your parents and grandparents are praying for you, but you determined to go your own way. I said to my mother when she told me you were called to preach, I tell her, I don't owe God anything. I didn't ask God to bring me back to life. That was a prayer that you asked God. He answered your prayer. I don't owe Him nothing. And she turned and said to me, you heard this before, "Son, I will never ever talk to you again about God until you come and talk to me." She said, "But even while I'm talking to you, I see this hole, this deep hole, so dark down there, you can hardly see." She said, "I'm seeing you down at the bottom of that hole." She said, "And I'm standing and watching you climb up and press your way hard to get to the top. And every time you held your hands up to pull yourself out of the hole, I see a pair of feet that mashed your finger and you fell all the way back down again." God says until you give your life to Him, nothing in your life will succeed. Everything I did, she stopped praying for me. Everything I did, everything, came so close to success and died. People began to betray me everywhere. Then I cried unto God. And you know what? He restored it sevenfold.
Amen.
Just as he promised he would do.
Amen.
Today is your day.
Hallelujah.
Have I become perfect because of it? No. I'm not perfect, but I'm forgiven.
Amen.
I hear what I'm saying to you.
Amen.
God wants you to walk in the excellence. He says to tell you that his eyes roam to and fro about the earth. And he always sees 2020.
Yeah.
Nothing is hidden from you. He says to tell you furlong that even darkness is as light to him.
Yes.
Where can you go that his spirit is not? Where can you flee that he cannot find you?
Yeah.
Where can he hide that he does not see? That's the word of the Lord to whomever.
Amen.
God is faithful to promise.
Yes, he is.
These are some serious times, and because of Abraham, because of the covenant that God cut with Abraham, he prayed. I hear what I'm saying.
Amen.
He stood in the gap and he bargained with God. You can read the story in Genesis 17 and verses 9 through 16 talk about the bargaining that he had with God. God, again, I will tell you, is only long suffering, not eternal suffering. That which you are about to do is going to destroy your life. That is the word of the Lord to whomever. Whether it be those that are watching this on Facebook, or those that are sitting before my face this morning, or those that are hearing it on the radio. That is the word of the Lord to you.
Amen.
My time has come. I thank you for yours. Bow your heads. Father, I thank you once again this morning for your grace and your mercy.